question 3, which says a stock's returns have the following distribution. So this talks about standard deviation and probability. It says weak, below average, average, above average, and strong probability of this demand occurring, 0.1, 0.2, 0.4, 0.2, 0.1. If we add up those probabilities, we can see that this gives us 3, 3 and 4, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10. So therefore we have a total of 1. Right. The rate of return if this demand occurs, if the demand is weak, returns will be negative. If it's below average, returns will be negative, not as bad as when it's weak. And if it's average, 16% returns, above average 25, and strong 60% returns. When we calculate expected cash flows and we're given probabilities, or we calculate expected returns, it's quite a simple process. It's basically looking at an overall percentage, which basically says we need to look at the return multiplied by the weight of that return. So I'm going to write down a formula for that and say that it's going to be the expected return. Expected returns is going to give us the sum of let's say I1 to n. Once again, I equals 1 all the way up to n of the the return, which will be R1, or in this case Ri, multiplied by the probabilities of each. So that just says we're going to take this and we're going to sum them up. Let's do it individually for each one. We're going to say it's negative 0.5 because it's 50%, right? Or you can just write 50%. Negative 0.5 multiplied by 0.1 plus negative 0.05 multiplied by 0.2 plus negative 0.16 multiplied by 0.4 plus 0.25 multiplied by 0.2, and a final one over there, let's just add it, 0.6, because it's 60% return, multiplied by 0.1. And so you can work out each one individually and then sum them up, or you can type that entire thing in the calculator. So let's just see, what do we get? .1 plus negative 0.05 times 0.2 plus 0.16. Remember to put these in brackets exactly the way, if you're using a fancy calculator, exactly the way that I've written it out. 0.16 plus 0.4, 0.25 multiplied by 0.2 plus 0.6 multiplied by 0.1. Right, and that should give you 0,114. Okay, and so that's going to be converted to percentage, which is equal to 11 when we multiply this by 100, 4%, 11.4% as a return. So that gives us question 3.1 solution. Okay. So let's look at standard deviation, which is something we're going to do next, and we're going to look at the formula for that as well.